I don't know if you've looked, but gas
Yes.
prices are through the roof. It now costs over $145 to fill up the tank of an F-150. So I guess when Donald Trump was talking about his golden age, he meant that it would cost you a literal gold bar to fill up your tank. Now, this isn't just affecting people who drive. This is also food prices, transportation of goods. We're now seeing Amazon is instituting a 3.5% surcharge on all goods because of the rising cost of fuel. Brian, this is just in time for the travel season. I mean, this couldn't come at a worse time for Donald Trump.
Well, there's a lot of things that his timing is always impeccably bad. And take a look at, to the point, at his State of the Union address, the longest on record, he touted how the Dow Industrial averages were up and the stock market was above 50. What was it? 50,000. Today, as we speak, it sits at 46,000. So less than what, 6 weeks later,
Yep.
he's lost fourth, and it's regained some. It was as low as 45,000 because of his lies and his continuing obfuscation about what's going on in the Middle East. And to the point about gas prices, what did he say yesterday? He's going to leave it up to the allies to open up the Strait of Hormuz, which he mispronounced in his speech. And
Yep.
less than a few days after he said it would be easy to open up, that he's decimated Iran. They have no way to stop us, but we need our help. We need help from our allies. He got mad at the allies for not helping out. You should have followed us in the war. You never help us out. A reminder for everyone, after 9/11, it was our NATO allies who helped us out immensely. Donald Trump, they're not following. It's a defensive alliance, not meant to go in. We start a war, they don't follow us in. He's been criticized by our allies, by the Pope. And then he says in the Strait of Hormuz yesterday, we're going to leave it up to the allies to be, have some courage to take that. We don't need the oil there. We don't need it. We have, by the way, buy oil from us. Meanwhile, look at the price of crude and look at the price of gas. Again,
Yep.
Donald Trump is lying. Facts show that he is a liar. When you take a look at gas prices, when you take a look at heating costs, and, like some joke, I can't even buy helium to get a funny voice anymore. Then all of that is indicative of the fact that Donald Trump cannot tell you the truth, and things are far worse than he says. I mean, he said that,
Yep.
it couldn't stop us in the Strait of Hormuz because we So why did we need the help from our allies? What are they throwing rocks at us from the side of the, from the shore? But there's just absolutely nothing about this that makes any sense except that price, which tells you what reality is.
Yeah. And now, like to your point, there's been no president in modern history who's pinned so much of the success of his presidency on the stock market price and gas prices and encouraging people to judge him on that. As you noted, helium prices now going up. I didn't know this, but the Middle East and Qatar especially produces most of the world's helium. And that's not just really putting a downer on kids' birthday parties. That's how we make semiconductors and pieces for advanced chips. So that puts the entire AI boom into question. It puts the entire tech bubble that's going right now in the markets into question. And there's no good solution. Qatar saying it could take months to get back to this production level. I mean, they have no plan for this, do they?
No, and when you continue to tell us that Iran has no offensive capabilities, they're shooting our planes out of the air, they're bombing gas and oil fields in the Middle East, there were missiles falling on Tel Aviv, and we don't get that news here. That's what's discouraging, is that we get that filtered and it comes later and not as accurate as you can get it from the BBC, from even Al Jazeera, from Axios, who's doing some of it, from CNN overseas. All you get are the criticisms from the Trump government about how we're the fake news, the false news. By the way, your prices are going up, and it has
Yep.
nothing to do with the war. Don't look at the man behind the curtain. It's that the Wizard of Oz crap that's just bothersome on levels that, anyone with common sense. I know some people are always going to buy into what Donald Trump says, and God bless you. I don't hold ill will towards you. I don't have hate within me, but I have a disdain for those who ignore vetted factual information. And the vetted factual information available to us is hard to find. You should make an effort to get it. And once you get it, you will see things a little more clearer than Donald Trump is telling us. And you're right. The problem with they had no plan for it. The Joint Chiefs told him not to do it. He
Yeah.
did it anyway to deflect from Epstein. Pretty soon, we're going to have to deal with Epstein to deflect from the bad news in the Middle East. He just
Pretty soon, we're not going to have any Joint Chiefs. I mean, Pete Hegseth just firing the chief of staff for the Army yesterday. So it shows you about where we are. Now,
Yeah.
I do want to get your thoughts as a journalist on Capitol Hill. Are Republicans that are talking to you privately worried about the gas price situation? Are they seeing this realistically like regular people are, or are they denying it like Trump?
I'll tell you the filter that you need to send that bit of information through is those in the House who are up for reelection, the entire House. Those people are scared to death that they're not going to be voted back in office. The Republicans see a huge debacle coming in the middle, in the midterm elections, which is why Donald Trump is pushing so hard for voter suppression. Call it whatever he may. The people in the members of ICE who are now in our airports, I've been told, is just a draw to run for what they want to do outside of precincts this coming November. So that's their effort to keep us from voting, which
Yep.
I say to everyone, get on the phone banks, volunteer, not just to vote. You need not just to vote. You need to volunteer to help. You need to work the precincts. You need to be on phone banks, Republicans and Democrats both. I don't
Yep.
want to see the Democrats snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory this fall. I want them to find legitimate contenders in every race. You may not agree with progressives, but at least agree that we've got to follow the Constitution. Get those
Yeah.
people in office that can get. And I further think that the people who still support Donald Trump publicly should be once this election is over, and if the Democrats manage to wrestle control of the House and the Senate, there will be investigations into the legitimate criminal activities of those who have supported Donald Trump